Hello, watch aficionados. I hope you're all well. I'm saying aficionado and not affectionado. I've been corrected on that a few times. What can I say? Growing up on the streets of London does crazy things to you. I've got the Hulk on today. What reference is this? I don't know. 116610 LV? Yeah, I think so. V standing for vert, not French for green. So I'm going to focus on doing a bit of a review on this bad boy today. I finally managed to get it back, and I'm so happy to have this watch back on the wrist, back in my life, back in the collection. I've been wearing this mostly, the Explorer 2 reference 16570 Polar 3186 movement. I've been wearing that mostly, and I've recently been wearing my Seiko SKX 009J a lot. I've got the Jubilee bracelet on it, and you know what, even though it does kind of look like a bit of a knockoff Pepsi GMT or Pepsi Jubilee, it's such a nice watch, and I love the heritage about it. I love that I can knock it around. I love I can take it, to different countries. I don't care if there are some street goons checking me out. You know what, you're gonna mug me for my $200 watch, knock yourself out. I've also stowed this Sea Dweller away. Haven't been using it much recently, haven't been in the mood for it. I still love it though. It's a badass watch. I've said it's a badass watch, and it's going to remain a badass watch. But anyway, today the green Rolex Submariner, the Hulk. I'm happy to have this back. It's been 2.5 years since I last touched this watch, laid eyes on this watch. I had one before, but I had to sell it. Back then I was completing on a property, and I was just a little bit short of cash, and something had to be sacrificed. So it was my my precious Rolex Submariner, the Hulk. I bought it in 2014. I sold it just before things started getting crazy on these watches. I sold it for I think I sold it for £5,300, and I don't know, man. Six weeks later, or sorry, 6 months later, they were selling for £8,000 or £9,000, and what to do, it's life. I didn't buy it for a crazy price anyway. I would have knew back then prices in the Middle East were a little bit better compared to the rest of the world. Now the Middle East has sort of caught up to the rest of the world and added some VAT and added some distributor tax, and it's pointless kind of buying in the Middle East now. You're not saving. It's not tax-free. They say it's tax-free in the Middle East, but nothing's tax-free. The watches are more expensive here than they are with tax back in Europe. So it's not a place you really want to go and be sort of thinking you're saving and buying things. You might get stock in some places still, but not that I can find anymore. Qatar, Doha used to be the place where I used to try on Daytonas on my way back to Dubai after business meetings. I used to be bored in the airport, and I was trying on Daytonas, stainless steel ones, white ones, black ones. I was just trying them on, just for fun. I was trying on Batmans, I was trying on Hulks before I had one. I mean, it was crazy. I always assumed that I can come back and get one. And then one day I thought, you know what, finally want to get the Daytona, call them up. I said, can you hold the Daytona? I'm going to be landing today for a meeting. I'll be back in the evening. Oh no, sir, we don't have any. I said, when are you getting them? That was it. So the Hulk. I've gone into detail about the Submariner before in a review. I had the no date. I sold the no date. It was a bit surplus to requirement. I've got the deep sea. Not the deep sea. The Sea Dweller 50th anniversary 43 mil. I really like this watch. There are days where I don't really need this watch in my life, and there are days where I really, really need this watch in my life. I truly believe this is the best watch that Rolex currently make. If you've got the wrist stamina for this watch, then go for it. If you've got 7" and above in terms of wrist circumference, great watch. A bit below 7, then you might find it a bit cumbersome and frustrating to wear. I favour this watch, the Hulk. It's my favourite Submariner, purely because it was my favourite. It was my first Rolex. Because it was my first Rolex, I've obviously built up tons and tons of memories with it, milestones with it. First thing for everything, this watch has pretty much been associated with it. Sorry if I'm coming across a bit slow today. I've got a cold these last couple of days, so I'm just a bit slow, just at home, going crazy, watching as much Netflix as anyone can take in without feeling zoned out, which I am at the moment. That's why I thought I'd do a review. It's a very difficult watch to get hold of, the Hulk, and I think it's for obvious reasons. It's kind of Rolex's signature color, the trademark color, the green. What are they going to do with this green? Are they going to really make a big thing about it in years to come? Will they stop the Submariner in the next year or two? Will they stop the Hulk in the next year or two? Will they release the Hulk with an updated sort of 32-35 movement that they'll pull from the Datejust 41 or the Sea Dweller 43? Will they do that? If so, are those last series ones going to be, begging for a huge premium in the future? I don't really know. I try to predict Rolex like a stock. And, it dips, it goes down, it goes up. People get excited. You've got your, question now is the Batman and the Hulk, is it going through its kind of Bitcoin phase? Is it going through its like quick buy Bitcoin phase? You need to get it, you need to get on it whilst it's still relatively cheap. Is it going through that, or have we already gone past that and, and we've lived to have buyer's remorse, or we're living to really be enjoying it? I guess we don't know until we find out what they're going to do with this watch. So they're either going to update the movement. I don't think they're going to be changing the Submariner in any way, shape or form for the next, I'd say 10 years. I think they keep the Submariners for 15, 20 years when they make them. Will they, as I said, will they change the movement? Will they change the lugs? I mean, I don't think any of that will matter. I think it's a very special watch, and the only thing I've been sad about with reference to the Hulk is that I remember when I was buying it in 2014, and I was researching, should I get a green Submariner, should I get a black Submariner? And there was so much hate for the Hulk in forums. When I used to speak to people say, why do you want a green? It's a green watch, like, what the hell? I remember I was wearing my Submariner Hulk, and I met another guy with a Hulk, and he really liked his watch. I saw him maybe a few weeks later, and he was wearing a two-tone Submariner. I said, oh, where's your Hulk? He was like, oh, I sold it because it was just like, it was green, and I just wanted a bit of gold, and he needed gold maybe to validate his life, I don't know. And it was just people weren't liking it. Suddenly, last 2 years, Hulk is anything and everything that people are talking about. It is, in terms of the Rolex world, the Hulk and the Batman. And it's crazy when you look at the used prices or the new prices of Batmans versus normal GMT Master 2s. Just for that line, just for that half bezel of blue, you're paying a huge premium. But it is a beautiful blue. I mean, the blue on the Batman versus the blue on the new Pepsi Jubilee, just different, just amazing. The Batman blue is amazing. That sort of purpley blue on the Pepsi GMT, I think they just got it all wrong. It just looks strange to me. It's a bit of a shame, though. Still, a fantastic watch, somewhat. So yeah, in terms of sort of getting back to the Hulk, I've got just so much going on in my head that I just can't help but keep talking about it. Going back to the Hulk, so some people are worried about the green. Some people are worried that it won't match their outfits, or they don't know what to wear with it. I genuinely think that this watch will make the outfit. It doesn't matter if you wear a blue suit. Blue and green should never be seen. I wear a dark blue suit at times. I've worn Hulk many, many times with it. It just looks a great watch. I mean, the way the light catches the green now. I mean, what am I wearing? A hoodie with some colourful elephants behind me, and that watch looks sublime. It looks fantastic. I wouldn't. The black is beautiful, but the green to me just means so much. And there's a reason that I picked a green Submariner as my first Rolex. I wanted that bit of difference. I liked the green. I liked that it wasn't black. I saw black ones everywhere. An interesting question is that had the Submariner originally been green, and a black Submariner was released as the limited version, we'd all want black, right? So it goes into that whole notion again of what's in our heads. And it's just like a black American Express card, or a black this, or a white type of the card there. It's what kind of we see as exclusive or different. We kind of want it. It's just kind of human nature to sort of employ these types of thought processes, and they really do go against us at times, because when you're living too much inside your head regarding a watch, that's when you just don't really know what you want, and it's a dangerous place to be. So you got to go quickly for the thing that you like in the first 10 seconds. Doesn't matter about exclusivity, doesn't matter about what is the watch that everyone wants. It just matters about what you want and what you like. And if you like a Batman, get a Batman. If you like a Hulk, if you like a no-date sub, black one, thumbs up, wicked watch. I miss mine every single day. So anyway, I haven't really worn the Hulk much at all. As you can tell, I've still got some plastic on it at the bottom. I haven't even sized it up. I mean, it's kind of okay for my wrist, but I haven't really sized it up. What's the main reason for that? Well, at the moment I'm carrying quite a few watches, and I'm going to be getting rid of some of my watches, purely because I've decided that I just want to go down to having 3 watches. And I think the 3 that I'm going to sit at are going to be the Explorer 2. When I say 3 watches, I mean 3 Rolex watches. The other sort of ones, they're going to stay with me. Pointless selling. Anyway, 3 Rolex watches. So the Explorer 2 will stay with me. I think the Sea Dweller will stay with me, and the Hulk. Now, I'm still undecided on which Sea Dweller is going to stay with me, whether it's going to be the Sea Dweller 50th Anniversary Edition or the Sea Dweller 16600, the 2008 edition, the sort of semi-vintage. I'm still unsure of that. The Hulk will definitely stay, but I'm kind of shifting money around at the moment for different things in the world. I need to do a few little things here. So as much as I want to keep them all and rip all their plastics off, I need to keep them in their clothes. I can't have these things naked yet. I won't be able to help myself. But looking at the Hulk again, the green, I'm wearing a green t-shirt underneath this today. I'm wearing green shorts. I love green. And that's kind of the main reason I chose the Hulk. I think with the steel, with the colouring, with the way it captures the light, there's nothing to worry about in terms of, will it be too green? I mean, how can I pull it off at work? Will it look strange? To be honest, when it's dark, from a distance, it just looks like a typical black Submariner Date. That's what it looks like. It doesn't really look very green. It's not kind of like your lime green that you get in the 50th anniversary Kermit. It's a subtle green. It's a typical Rolex green. Like if you've bought Rolexes, you get that Rolex box and you get that Rolex bag. It's kind of like that green, but the dial, when it's hit at the right angle outside by the sunlight, it really does pop, as everyone says. It really does look nice. Size-wise, I think this watch will fit anyone from sort of, 6-inch wrists, 6.5-inch wrists to, 8-inch wrists. I think it's all about comfort when it comes to certain caliber watches. It's all about what feels right for you. You don't need to go for sort of your 43 mils, your 44 mils. I've got a 44.5 mil deep sea blue James Cameron edition. That's a box queen. It's just a watch that I have in a box now, and it's kept safe. So it's not something I really want to wear. But anyway, like I say, watches will be getting chopped. Things will be getting shifted around, and I want to start building memories again with a select few watches. I believe I've alluded to this, that sort of graph which I once saw, where you go buy all the Rolexes and then you realize it's bullshit and you sell them off and you keep the ones you really need. That's kind of where you want to be at. And it does, every Rolex, any new Rolex that comes out, it's always going to be of interest. It's always going to be the new kid on the block. Oh, I really want to have this one. Everyone's talking about it. But ultimately, what do you see yourself wearing in 20 years' time when you've got family, kids, grandkids, whatever it might be? Just choose that watch and enjoy it. It's a watch. Don't overthink it. It's a watch. I think some people get trapped into buying watches thinking they're going to change their lives. They don't do that. They don't change lives. They enrich your life to a point, of course. celebrating a milestone or an achievement or a point of success, you know, in some fashion. But ultimately, they're just going to go wherever you are. So make sure it's something that you really, really like. You know, if you're, I've never personally understood huge collections. I could say that I've got a significant collection, but they're not all things that I'm into wearing. It's just sort of into having. But anyway, I'm going to do a separate video again on kind of the psychology of watches, the psychology of luxury, because I did that video before and it was very interesting in terms of feedback. Some of the comments I got, they were fantastic, and it's been my most exciting video to date. When I go through the comment section and see people's feedback, I think it hits a certain nerve, and I think a lot of people, it prompts them to think. So I'm going to go back to that at some point. But you know, just to finish things off on the Hulk, I can't help but see how great the green looks just when I'm sort of wearing it. It looks fantastic. And you know, if you're on the fence regarding a Batman or a Hulk or a black watch, just get the one that you really, really like. Don't be like, oh, you know, I want to be different, or maybe what if I this. Just get the one that in 5 seconds, if I was to put your head in a bucket of water, what are you going to wear? That one. Just go for that and knock yourself out. That was the Hulk for me. And I think a lot of people have jumped on a Hulk bandwagon over the years because it's become kind of difficult to get. Just make sure you're getting it for the right reasons. You know, for instance, I've never had a Batman, and a Batman's as difficult to get now as the Hulk. But the reason I always said no to the Batman was because it had polished center links, and that's just the reason that I'll never have a Batman, because it has polished center links. I'm not interested in watches with polished center links, you know, unless it's a Daytona. That's the only one watch that I kind of find that acceptable on. These divers kind of tool watches, even though they don't look as toolly as they did before, I like brushed center links. If it was my choice, they'd still probably be on aluminium bezels. The ceramic bezels are very nice, but it kind of raises the elegance of the whole thing, which is great. It's great, you know, wearing it with jeans and a nice shirt, suit, whatever it might be, maybe a touch more versatile. But that's kind of my review on the Hulk. I don't really know what else to add in terms of reviews. I think a lot of people just like to have a general chit chat about it, capture the color in different angles, see how the watch looks. For reference, I've got approximately 7.5-inch wrists, give or take a 1/4 inch, depending on how hot it is outside in the room that I'm in, or how cold it might be. And I think it's a fantastic fit. It looks bigger because the lugs kind of give it that more square look. The Sea Dweller, for instance, the Sea Dweller 14mm 16600, it looks a lot smaller than this watch, and all because the lugs are smaller, looks more round. I really like this watch. It will be staying with me. I guess at the moment what I'm looking for is I'm looking to come across some sort of, or I'm looking to come across the next celebratory situation or moment in my life where I will take all the plastic off this watch and start wearing it, because that's genuinely how I like to do watches. I don't like to just go out and buy them and start wearing them. For me, I see them as an occasion, as a way of marking an occasion or marking something in my life. And I've done that with a few watches, and I've always enjoyed that, because for some reason, those watches have always reminded me in the back of my mind of that great moment. There are watches I have which I haven't associated with an initial fantastic moment, but it doesn't matter. I mean, when it comes to the ones that I really want to keep, that's kind of what I want to do. So this one didn't have it. I bought it to sort of sell, ended up keeping it. Fair enough. This one I will be keeping because it was my first Rolex. Anyway, ladies and gents, I will post a few videos, probably post a new video next week, looking into more of the psychology behind things. And thanks very much for watching. Always look forward to your comments. If we can just keep it tidy, mature, then you know, I'm all for the good positive feedback and writing back to you. Thanks very much. Have a great day.